Yeah, well, I took it off Tapology today. Have you got Tapology up?
I have Tapology up, yes. Go on.
I'm
going to let you go first with all the names today.
Yeah, that's nice of you. Amedovsky.
Yeah, Alan Amedovsky, yes.
Yeah, Alan Amedovsky. And Yao Zong.
Yeah.
Right,
Hu
pass the
Yao
test.
Zong, yeah.
Hu Yao Zong. This does not look good for Yao Zong, in my opinion.
Well, I'm going to flip it on its head for you.
Right.
Because this is the first time that Yao Zong's ever fought at middleweight.
So what was he fighting at before?
He was a heavyweight coming into the UFC. He made his debut as a heavyweight against Cyril Asker. Then he moved down to light heavyweight.
Which is why he got ragdolled a little bit.
Yeah. And now he's moved down to middleweight.
Oh, right.
And he's like 6'2", 6'3". And one thing I will say about 6'3", one thing I will say about Alan Amedovsky is I thought he was a big welterweight when I saw him. I'm not saying he's not heavy.
So he might be a natural. He might be
5'10".
more natural at middleweight.
He's 5'10", so he's going to look like the smaller fighter, and he's taking on a guy that has been a heavyweight for
I suppose that does change it a bit, doesn't it? Yeah.
Told you I was going to flip it on.
Yeah,
his
you
head
did
for
flip it bad.
You love that shit.
So maybe there you go. Right in the mic.
I don't have the build-up room, I don't have the wind-up.
Space. Create some space.
So what's your notes saying
I mean,
now?
you've just chopped my legs off of any kind of argument I was going to make there. But
Sorry.
Maybe Yao Zong will be all right. I just feel like, Amedovsky was going to come and try and rag him around a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to. I mean, losing a decision to Jotko's, there's no shame in that, because Jotko's a talented and tough individual, really tricky, a real spoiler. That was his UFC debut, and he got caught up at customs. He didn't arrive until real late, and then he fought John Phillips and got knocked out.
Yeah, but he fought John Phillips with the worst game plan possible. How are you going to lose to John Phillips?
You're going to get knocked out.
Yeah, let's turn this into a brawl as fast as possible. Turn it into a brawl, and got absolutely KO'd, didn't he?
That's exactly why you don't do that with John Phillips.
No.
I mean, he's changed his nickname now, hasn't he? He's the Welsh Wrecking Machine.
Well,
he used to be the White Mike Tyson.
Right. Clues in the name.
Yeah.
Alan. The clues in the name, Alan. Have a look at his fights before you go in there and turn it into a brawl.
Yeah.
No, he just got hit hard, didn't he, by someone who hits really hard.
Yeah. I think this one should be an interesting one, given the fact that they're both in a bad spot. They both need a win. The fact that there's a big size difference between the two of them as well. I think that evens out the difference in their record.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
3. So Yao Zong's 3-2, and Amedovsky's 8-2. So he's got a little bit on him, hasn't he? Oh, it'll be interesting to see what he looks like at that.
Yeah. I mean, Cyril Asker's, he's not a big heavyweight, but he's still a heavyweight.
Yeah.
And then Rashad Coulter's a real difficult guy to deal with. And if I remember right, he hurt Rashad Coulter a few times. He just couldn't get him out of there.
Yeah. Well, maybe Yao Zong will come through then.
Yeah.
You have flipped me.
Sorry.
You have flipped me.
I have literally only just looked at this card today because I've been entirely focused on the main event. So when we get to the main event...
No, you'll check out the main event and be like, look, watch the programs. Watch the products.
So you were going for Alan Amedovsky?
I was. Yeah, maybe a little bit. But we'll have to see, won't we? It just wasn't... Yao Zong, just in that Cyril Asker fight, just got mauled a bit, didn't he? And he didn't seem to have much in his much in terms of his wrestle prevention, his takedown D. But maybe that's not going to be a problem.
I think he might stop him.
You reckon?
Just because he's the bigger, stronger guy, he's going to come in feeling like he's a giant by comparison.
Yeah,
there's a good height difference. Height difference. The fact that he's been massive, a heavyweight. No.
Yeah,
and the 2 losses that he's picked up have both been in the UFC. I mean, he's only had 5 fights, and he was 3 fights, 3 stoppages coming in. And Glory of Heroes, I don't know much about the show, but Glory of Heroes was one of the shows Adesanya was fighting on before he came to the UFC.
Yeah. All right. Who are we picking then? Because they moan when we don't solidify a pick in there.
Well,
Yao Zong.
Yeah, I'm going. I think Yao Zong's gonna do it.
We'll lock him in.
Go on.
Cool. Yeah.
Next one.
ZHUMAGULOV.
Yeah.
ZHUMAGULOV.
Yep.
ZHUMAGULOV and Rivera.
Yes.
Jerome Rivera. Zumagulov's in a bit of a spot, isn't he?
Well, they both are.
Yeah.
I mean...
But Amir Albazi is pretty good, right? That's who he lost to last time out, I think.
Yeah.
We rate him relatively highly, don't we?
Yeah. But he's got a win. Zumagulov's got a win over Tyson Nam, though, doesn't he, before he came into the UFC?
Yeah.
So that was the thing that stood out. Yeah, like, he's got a good record until he came to the UFC. And then he's just hit a bit of bother. He's had a couple of losses in the past, though. Yeah, so like if you look at the people he's fought before, like he's got a unanimous decision win over Tyson Nam and Tagir Lambekov, who was undefeated up to that point, and he's got a win over Ali Bagatinov, who's another
solid, isn't he?
and that's a split decision, but it's still it's still a win over him.
Yeah, and then I mean Jerome's in a similar spot, right? He's fought Tyson Nam and lost.
Yeah.
He's lost another 2 all in a year and a bit. He's in a bit of a hole, and this is probably not the greatest guy to have to try and dig yourself out from it.
No. They're both backed into a corner. Zumagulov's been here before. He's had 2 losses on his record before, and he's managed to get back on a win streak. There's an age difference as well, isn't there? He's had a couple of losses, hasn't he? Oh, he lost to Brandon Royval.
Yeah, injury. I'm not sure. I haven't seen. You've not watched that, have you?
The LFA
no, I haven't
one,
either.
no.
I don't know what that means by injury, but I do know what it means. As in he's got injured, but I'm not sure what it refers to.
I think Zumagulov's going to be too much for him.
Yeah. I quite like him too. He's a good...
Plus, he's got a unanimous decision win over Tyson Nam, who stopped Rivera.
Yeah. Zumagulov.
I mean, I know that MMA math doesn't work like that, but,
No.
Okay. These are 2 old boys. We've seen these hundreds of times. Omari Akhmedov against Brad Tavares. 2 kind of small middleweights. Akhmedov used to be a welterweight coming into the UFC.
But he's like... He's still... Even though he's relatively small, he's still a bit of a handful, isn't he? Like,
powerful.
Yeah, just power.
Strong, powerful.
Yeah.
Difficult to keep a hold of. He's 6 foot. He's not undersized for a middleweight. He was a welterweight. But then Brad Tavares has always kind of not been a huge middleweight by comparison. When he fought Israel Adesanya, he just,
But like even Akhmedov, he sort of fights big. Do you know what I mean? That's his game, and he's going to put it in your back. He's going to beat you up. He's going to make you feel like he's heavy. You're having to do all the lifting, getting him off you. He it's funny in that Tom Breeze fight. I know, we've got a lot of respect for Tom and what have you, but when you say MMA is more and more about decision making, when you've got when Akhmedov's got like a kind of loose sort of single on you, and you go for a guillotine, and I'm sure he backs his guillotine, I'm sure it's very strong, but like, what happens if you don't get it? Well, 4 minutes on your back pretty much happens when you don't get it.
Yeah,
and I saw that, and I thought of what you were saying about you just got this. Half of the game is about making better decisions, and you're in, not rushing stuff, and it's rough. I mean, I feel like Akhmedov could play that game against Brad. He could stand with him for a little bit, put him on his back, or put him up against the fence and do that wrestle beat up game.
Yeah,
not quite easily, but it's there to be done, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I would say Brad Tavares is the better striker out of the 2, and I think that even if he's being pushed back, he's going to be more effective with his striking than Akhmedov. But I have seen Brad Tavares hurt a couple of times, and Akhmedov coming in, throwing bombs over the top, level changing, driving him into the fence.
Yeah,
it might just be a long night for Tavares.
Yeah,
but if he can establish a clinch on the way in, if he can get that Muay Thai clinch, he's working with Ray Sefo. He's going to be lightning with his knees.
Yeah,
he is a good fighter all round. Brad Tavares is, but he can get kind of drowned with pressure. And
but Akhmedov's going to bring pressure in it.
Yeah,
that's what he's going to bring. That's that's the fundamental part of that kind of game, isn't it?
And he's got good wins on his record as well. I mean, Ian Heinisch, Zach Cummins, Tim Bosch is a good win.
Yeah.
Draw against Marvin Vettori, and then he was a welterweight before that, wasn't he?
Yeah, but he might be one of those. He might have been at welterweight, but really, maybe this is the weight
just
for
more
him.
Comfortable.
Yeah, stronger, more energy, carved up.
Yeah.
Happy days.
I'm leaning towards Akhmedov.
Yeah, I had him down. Of
course you did.
Yeah, the wrestle game.
Yeah, you were getting shit for having your notes, weren't you, on the uncensored as well?
What is he talking about? As if you could do this with no notes. You can have a look if you want. I mean, and then he said, "No, I'm not buying. No, I just retract that statement. I'm not buying. I'm not giving him anything. You're not having anything."
I don't have notes.
No, I know, but you've been embedded in MMA for your whole life, and for the last 8 years, literally embedded in MMA.
I suppose. I have a terrible memory, though. I've been punched in the head a lot.
Yeah.
Akhmedov,
yeah, lock him in.
Jennifer Maia, Jessica Ai.
Yeah. Jessica Ai is 2 losses deep and 2 grappling losses deep in the same period of time. She's in a bit of a rough spot.
And she's very emotional. She's going to be very, very het up this week. Het up, that's not a word that people use, isn't it?
No one other than the English are going to get that, are they?
She's going to be het up. She'll be vexed.
Yeah. I feel like vexed is a more internationally recognised.
Yeah.
Het up, and that might even be this area.
No, I don't think so. I think it's a word.
Oh, okay.
I think it's a word.
All right, we'll go with it.
Anyway,
well, she's going to be het up.
She's going to be het up.
She's going to be pissed.
She's going to be pissed.
Yeah.
She's going to be angry. She's going to be frustrated. She's going to be emotional. Anytime she gets to speak into a camera, she's going to go off on tangents and she's going to tell you how she's fucking earned this and people have been fucking taking everything from her.
This is not a good place
That's
to be.
the problem. And Jennifer Maia's good striking and grappling. And I would say Jessica Ai's advantage is probably the wrestling. So she might be able to dictate where it goes, but she might not be able to dictate what's happening, whichever destination she chooses.
She's slick on the floor, Jennifer, though, isn't she?
She is.
That was a nice armbar finish, JoJo.
Yes.
Slick.
Yeah. Yeah, she's a good grappler. She held her own against Shevchenko, but no one expected her to win that.
No.
Caitlin Chikagian's a very underrated fighter. She's got good footwork, good boxing, very good awareness of range.
Yeah.
And,
she's coming through Chikadian now. Like, she's...
Yeah. She's had a couple of wins.
She's established.
It was just
now,
that
right?
fight that she got stopped against Andrade, the body shot. But aside from that, she lost.
You feel like she's weak through there anyway,
a little bit,
or just based off that.
I think anybody getting punched at the wrong time in the guts is gonna fold. It's just it's the nature of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's catching people at the right time. If you land a shot on the body when they're expecting it and they're braced for it, it's difficult to hurt someone. But as I was saying though, Jennifer Maia's got wins over Alexis Davis and Roxanne Modafferi. She's coming off a title shot as well.
Pool, really, isn't it? Like people, they all have to fight each other because the pool's not that deep, is it?
No.
I know there's people, there's always people coming through on the next sort of wave of up and comers and stuff. But you look through their records and everyone sort of fights everyone. You have a good sense of the hierarchy, don't you?
Yeah.
The
other thing with Jessica Ai is she struggles with her weight sometimes. She's missed weight a couple of times.
Did we talk about this before? And someone said in the comments, didn't they, that she had a problem that she's got fixed with the doctors, something like a pancreas or something, and it was...
Oh, is that right?
It was hitting her off on a weight, yeah. And it was not, and she was struggling to do anything about it, and then she got some medical help, and it's not been a problem.
Okay, then.
There's a mild chance I'm mixing that up, but I'm pretty sure it was her. The person that wrote it is probably still watching, so let us know.
She was 0.3 pounds over when she fought Cynthia Calvillo. I think that was the last time she missed weight. She was on she was on weight for Calderwood. She just used the pound allowance.
Right. Yeah, I'm sure it was her.
She was 6 pounds over against Araujo, though.
All right, that's not that long ago, is it?
Not really.
No. Maia for me.
Yeah, I just think she's just a bit more calculated, and she's got skills in both ranges. Whereas Jessica Ai, she gets emotional, she gets drawn in.
But she probably tops the wrestling a little bit.
Yeah, I think so. I think she could. If she wanted to ground the fight, she could. But whether that's the right thing to do or not,
Yeah, right.
Is to be seen.
Yeah, Maia for me, I think.
Okay, Ryan Hall. This is a good matchup. This is a really good matchup.
Yeah.
Ryan Hall against Ilia Topuria.
I just think Ilia's going to light him up, don't you?
Yes.
What are you shaking your head at? Nah.
He's a fanboy, isn't he? He likes all the cult, cult fanboy.
Yeah. No, I get that. I get that. I mean, look,
all the ones that he fancies, which is a mixed bag. I mean, it's one or the other sometimes. Yeah, the thing is Ilia Topuria has got knockout power in his hands. He's got Greco-Roman wrestling background, so if this locks up, he might be able to dictate where this fight goes
and disengage if he wants to.
Yeah, and he's an excellent grappler as well. He's got a more fundamental approach to the jiu-jitsu game. It's it's Darce chokes, it's neck attacks.
You're not rolling that dice though. Even if you've got that in your back pocket, but he's clearly like a level above standing and in the clinch.
Exactly.
You're not going to roll that dice, surely.
I don't think so. But Ryan Hall has got very creative ways to find his way into a grappling situation. And you can't use Greco to solve Imanari rolls.
No.
You know what I mean? So it's like there's ways that Ryan Hall can create chaos and work his way in. Plus, his striking's all over the place. Yeah. I mean, it is really a mess. But because it's a mess, there's awkward things that work
dangerous.
for him. Yeah, like weird kind of side kicks and stuff. And
I just watching him in the stand up. I just don't feel like he moves at the same cadence that Ilya moves at. You know what I mean? He's just going to get stung and then not be able to do anything by the time Toporia's moved out and moved away and he's on the way back in to sting him again.
I mean, this is the first time he's literally taken on a shark.
Yeah.
Like, you look at the other guys he's fought,
tiny bit padded, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, he lost to Saul Rogers by majority decision, and Saul's a tough, gritty grappler.
Yeah.
That's not got the most flamboyant of games, but was able to cause him a lot of problems. And once you shut down one part of his game, then he feels like he's forced to strike, and then there's panic associated with that. Artem Lobov is just a chaotic brawler. We love Artem, but you're not going to see much finesse from him.
Yeah.
Gray Maynard. Love Gray Maynard, but he's past his
he's not
prime.
Who he was.
Not at all. Not by a long way.
He's not that Frankie here, is he?
No, he's not. And that was a frustrating fight for him because Ryan wouldn't engage with him, would it? And then he beat up BJ Penn, who's 10 years
58.
past his best. Yeah. And then Darren Elkins, who's got the damage tattooed across his chest, like he's there to be beaten up.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's not tough and gritty and durable, but there's nothing finesseful about his game. And then on the flip side, you get Ilia Topuria, who's just taking guys down and subbing them left, right, and centre, like making it look easy. And the one guy on his record that he couldn't take down and submitted, he knocked him out in the second round. He's just a different kind of animal to what Ryan Hall's facing. I know there's a cult following behind Ryan Hall, and he's an interesting, eclectic character, and he's got.
Oh, but no doubt, if he goes to the floor, like
for sure, it's very competitive.
Yeah. There's a huge chance that this might go against Ilya, but if he can keep it standing, the way he moves in and out, I feel like he's going to get Ryan biting on his feints all day. He's going to be in a bit of trouble, I think.
I think as long as he doesn't go normal game plan and he goes stubborn first round,
right?
Keep it standing, counterpunch, frustrate him, and break him psychologically when now he knows he can't get in.
Yeah.
And then start closing him down. Because then even if he is level changing, he's level changing out of panic, and then he's offering necks and head and arm positions for Darces and Anacondas.
God,
and that's what he does.
Ryan Hall would be a big call.
Yeah. But this is MMA, he could also beat him up pretty good first. Yeah. You beat somebody into a submission on the feet before they collapse and fold to the floor. Like, he's got a lot of first round finishes, which is my only concern. He might go out there and get tangled up unnecessarily early, and anybody can have their knee ripped apart, and that's what Ryan Hall brings to the table.
Yeah.
But he just doesn't have the rest of the game to bolster it. He's like a new age Damian Maia.
Right. I mean, look, my money will be on Topuria, but when someone is as dangerous as Ryan Hall in one aspect, you can't write that off.
You can't write him out. No, and that's why it's an interesting fight because Toporia's got all of the skills to deny Ryan Hall everything he can do.
But there's still a chance.
Doesn't mean
there's
he's
still
going
a
to be able
chance
to do
you're
it.
going to walk home with no ACL.
No, but I'm erring on the side of logic and going with Topuria for sure.
Yeah, right.
I think he's quite a special fighter as well. This might be people's realization. Okay. Dricus du Plessis against Trevin Giles.
Yeah. Du Plessis from Pretoria, my good friends from Pretoria, one of my coaching mentors, Franz Ludicus, he coached the Bulls there. Like, Pretoria is rugby mad. Like, the Bulls is Man United, pretty much, yeah. Like, he coached them to 2 Super Rugby titles. He's a very, very, very good man. Good, solid man.
Nice.
And, I'm surprised. Wait, is Dricker's a middleweight?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Big athletic middleweight. Very
They breed
springy.
them. They breed them big and athletic in Pretoria for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got. This is rearranged, right? They were supposed. I feel like this was supposed to happen, and then 7 days out, something happened.
Yeah.
I'm sure it did. I'm sure Drickers couldn't get a visa or
Duplessis withdrew, it says.
Yeah, I'm sure it's something like a visa or something like that, and it was pretty last minute.
It might be because of the coronavirus and limited travel or something like that.
The variant, another variant. Look, Trevin's grabbed some good wins, hasn't he? James Krause, Roman Dolidze is a difficult puzzle to figure out. Like, he's pretty good everywhere, isn't he? And he's solid and strong, and that's a good win. I'm just not sure if he's got the same pop as Drickers. He just seems to have that. He was so pumped when he won that fight, wasn't he? He was like super pumped just to be in the UFC. And then he got that fight with the left hook.
Yeah.
Left hook behind the ear,
Marcus
I think.
Perez.
Yeah. And he was just, it was sort of like, when you see someone that happy, you're like, it's hard not to be that happy for him.
Yeah.
But I like him. He's tough. You know what? Oh, yeah, maybe you were commentating. I think did you commentate it? And you could see for 2 minutes, he looked like he was flexing for 2 minutes. And then after 2 minutes, he sort of
relaxed a little bit.
Took a breath, relaxed. And then it all went great from there.
Yeah.
But he was flinching at everything and like almost overreacting to everything. And then he just calmed down a little bit, took a breath, and it went all good from there, didn't it?
I think this is I think it's a competitive fight skill wise, but I feel like Trevin Giles kind of sits back a little bit sometimes. He's got a little bit of a lazy style, like he'll wait for the fight to come to him. Whereas Duplessis, you can see that anxiety in his game. He's like,
make it happen.
Yeah,
well, let's go.
Yeah. He's got one loss on his record. Well, he's got 2 losses on his record. One by Gareth McClellan, who is another South African fighter that got to the UFC. He was a EFC champion, and that was 2014. So I can write that one off. And then his other loss was to Soldic, who's the KSW champ, and he beat Soldic to win the belt and then lost the rematch. But they were both great fights, and Roberto Soldic is a monster.
Yeah. He's going to bring it, and Duplessis is definitely going to bring it.
I think Duplessis might be a little
overawe him a little bit.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I think he's just a little bit too more. He's a bit more up for it than Trevin Giles always seems. He always seems a bit like there's a bit extra in the tank that he could spend, but he's like, I'll
hold that.
Yeah.
I'll hold. Yeah, right. I'll go with Duplessis.
This one's chaos. NIKO Price against
chaos,
Michel Pereira.
Michel Pereira is a monster, isn't he?
Yeah.
Monstrous.
Seeing a photo of him though, how old would you think he is?
Older than 27.
Right?
Yeah.
He's not 27.
No way. He might be like, Bruce used to laugh about Fijian passports. They'd be like, you're 28. You feel like 14 kids. What are you on about?
There's no way he's 27.
Maybe he's just got a special passport.
Do you reckon?
But he's definitely not 27.
He's no, for sure not.
Yeah.
He's had a fucking long paper round if he's 27.
Like, so he's massive and he's athletic and he's like a super predator, isn't he? But where is his martial arts at? Where do you think he's at?
I think he's a better gymnast than he is a martial artist. No, to be honest, to be fair to him,
until he pulls one of those things off, and then you're like, oh shit!
I mean, when he settles down, he actually has got a good skill set. But he's the thing that costs him, or the thing that did cost him in the UFC, aside from the illegal knee, was the feeling that he had to deliver something to the fans as far as performance. Like that fight against Tristan Connolly, I was in the arena for that. I was working on the desk. And like the whole arena, of course, they're behind this guy because Connolly took it on like 3 days' notice or something, and he was clearly undersized and under-athleted.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. He just had toughness and grit, and he was like, "I made it to the UFC, and I don't care who I've got to fight to get here." You know what I mean? And it's just I'm going to fight you. But he was doing backflips off the fence and stuff, and he just exhausted himself. And then Connolly put himself in a position where he could just punch him relentlessly.
Yeah.
It was embarrassing. But the whole arena, like the shift in the arena and the rise as Connolly started to turn the corner.
Tables,
It was wild.
But it's funny, isn't it? Like, you still need to. It's not just wins and losses. The UFC, is it? Like we always talk about how the sport of it crosses with the entertainment side of it. So you do have to have a bit, but you have to get your meat and veg right first.
Got to get the balance right, because you can do all the performance, you can do the backflips off the fence, but you've got to be a Justin Gaethje if you're doing that.
Yeah.
You know, you can't have all that stuff and then not have the substance. You know.
Yeah.
And it's not like I don't think he does have the substance. His last 2 fights, I mean, Rinnick choke over Imadaev, and then the win over Chaos Williams, the decision. Like we've seen
that was a tough fight too. Yeah. That was.
Like we've seen some of his good like foundational skills now, and they are there. And I think if he's just a bit more, I mean, the fact is he is a great athlete. There's no doubt about that. But if he applied that to more offensive techniques,
you can waste that athleticism, can't you? Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
And like we always talk about moving for moving's sake. You know, don't move for moving's sake. Move with a purpose, move with a plan. And there's a fair bit of wasted energy going on, isn't there?
So much to the point where it's frustrating.
Yeah, and that is only going to take the pop and the bounce out of him. You know, you can see the power bar sort of just slowly. You know, no one can keep it topped up the whole way.
And a lot of the stuff he's doing, he's not even trying to do something offensive with it.
Yeah,
he's just trying to make the crowd go, "Whoa!" I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Make fireworks if that's what you're into. Just, you know what I mean? I like to see people stick to an offensive game, and work through it.
I mean, NIKO's athletic. He's probably not quite the same as Piero, but you know, he's an athletic dude, isn't he? Yeah.
Awkwardly athletic.
Yeah, he got picked apart a little bit by Luque, didn't he?
Yeah, but most people do.
Who looked really good in that fight, to be fair. He looked really, really good.
Good foundational skills.
Yeah.
You know, Vicente Luque is a good technical striker.
Yeah. No fluff.
No fluff.
No Michel Pierre in there.
Well, I mean, look at the ways in which NIKO Price has won a couple of these fights. Against James Kick, he won it. Against James Kick. Against James Vick, he won by up kick in the first round. Up Vick.
Yeah.
And then against Randy Brown, he won by hammer fists from the bottom position.
Holy shit.
There's chaos in his game, but there's finishing chaos. I think if Michel Pereira comes in and tries to be a bit chaotic, he might find himself on the offensive end of the chaos of NIKO Price. I think Price is a real tough, durable individual that will just stand back and let Pereira bounce off the fence for the first round.
Just wait.
And wait.
Let him burn his energy.
And then when he's tired, just start cracking him. And he's all elbows and knees as well, NIKO Price.
Yeah, he's got a bit of a swarm. Like he swarmed. He must have, when he fought Cowboy, like he must have established Cowboy as a late starter, isn't he? Like we all sort of recognise that.
Yeah.
And he swarmed him early, didn't he? I know that fight ended up being nonsense because the UFC have shit gloves, but and it was Fingergate, wasn't it?
Fingergate.
Like at least 3 or 4 high pokes, I think, something like that.
But yeah, he did in other events. Weirdly,
no.
Yeah.
Well, they're hard up though, so it's difficult for him to change all of them gloves.
I think we've found his limit. I think we've found his competitive ceiling.
Yeah.
And I don't know as he's going to surpass that in any way, but that doesn't mean he can't beat Michel Pereira. It's a fun fight.
It is a fun fight. Yeah, right. I thought Michel Pereira might edge it.
You reckon?
I'm just not. Yeah. But it kind of depends what he comes to do. Do you know what I mean? What's he coming to do? Is he coming to?
Well, you've got to make the calls. You know?
Yeah, put a marker down and just win the fight or not.
Yeah.
We'll see. Right, we'll go opposites on that.
So you going Pereira? Yeah, I'm going NIKO.
You go Price.
Yeah.
Athlete,
I like this
athlete over the technician.
That's you, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, it used to be. Not anymore. Shit heap over the nonsense.
Max Griffin against Carlos Condit.
Yeah.
Another good fight.
Another great fight.
See, Max Griffin's kind of turned the corner a bit recently. I thought we'd seen his limit.
He's tough.
I thought we'd seen his competitive limit, and then all of a sudden he started to surprise me a bit.
Mate, he hasn't lost any other way other than decision since 2016, so he's durable and tough, isn't he?
That was the fight I forgot. I was trying to remember the guy's name the other day with the cauliflower ear that got bust off the side of his head. That was it. Ramiz Brahimov. Yeah.
It's just hanging off.
He got
I'll
hit.
Clip that for Josh and send it to Josh.
That's who I was talking about with it. It was Josh. He got hit with an elbow, And the guy actually felt his ear shake and felt there was something weird with it. And that's like he was in the clinch against the fence and like reached for it and was like, "Oh shit, that's kind of half detached." And they stopped the fight because of the ear injury.
Right.
That's how bad it was.
Shit.
And then Song Kenan, who I was all over Song Kenan, talking about how good he was and how excellent this fight was going to be and how he was going to look really good against Max Griffin, and then he got bingoed half a round through.
Yeah, he slept him hard, didn't he? Yeah. I mean, look, everyone sort of likes Carlos Condit, don't they? Like, he's been around, he's skilled, he's like nasty, and he's hard-edged, isn't he? Very experienced. People like watching him fight.
Awkward timing as well.
Yeah. Different metronome, right? Just slightly off.
A little bit off, a little bit Nico Price in his timing.
Right.
Like there's a little bit of a lag to it, a little bit of a delay to it sometimes.
But useful, right? Because
well, the thing you remember when he caught GSP with that head kick.
Yeah.
And he did like a real deep roll, and then the kick came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like that's the bit that he brings to the table as well. I mean, he's just had a grappling match against Jake Ellenberger as well. Won by heel hook in the first.
He's had a turbulent career, hasn't he?
Yeah, up and down.
Really turbulent.
Retired for a bit.
Yeah.
Went into another business. I mean, he was on a 5-fight losing streak at one point.
Yeah, right. He got up to the title shot, didn't he? Like, I mean,
Interim.
it happens, right?
He won the interim, didn't he? Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He won the interim title. I'm sure he did.
Yeah, but he fought George, didn't he? And sort of after fighting Georgie, he just went on a bit of a slide. And he's got fights back with Court and Matt Brown, hasn't he? But he's almost in that Masters. Well, he is in that Masters division, really, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's not going to push for a belt run now.
No, but then Max Griffin, I don't think he is in that Masters division.
Not quite.
I think he's still edging towards. Is he ranked? He's 35. I mean, he's no spring chicken.
No. You know what? I was making me laugh watching this back with. In that Song, I think we might have mentioned it before, in that Song Kenan fight, as when Max was giving it you're asleep, and then he turned back around and sees that he's actually asleep, and just went, "Oh, I hope you're all right."
Yeah.
"Oh, you sleeping, mother? Oh, I hope you're all right."
I think that's called a 182.
Yeah. Do you think Carlos is slightly technically better than Max, and that might win the day?
Yeah. I'm going with the old school.
Yeah.
I'm going with the old school.
That was my read.
I think Max Griffin's good, and I think if he caught Carlos, he could hurt him, but he's not easy to put away.
No.
I think Max Griffin might look really good in the first round, and then Condit's going to come out in the second round.
Efficient Condit, though, isn't he? Like he's the opposite of Pierre. He's not going to waste anything, really.
Not at all.
He's going to throw to land or not throw.
Yeah. And he puts his combinations together well, and it's not normally the first shot that lands. You know what I mean? It's normally the third or fourth shot in the combination. And another one of my favourite performance of his was against Thiago Alves, where he lost the first round, then came out in the second and just opened him up with elbows.
Yeah,
I can see something very similar happening here. I think he's going to have a rough first round against Griffin, and then he's going to come on real strong and stomp him in the second and third. Probably win a decision, but probably a messy one.
Right. Open him up, you reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, lock Condit in.